YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. This is kind of typical fashion TKK video. It's about 3 a.m. I got out of bed and I decided it was time to not sleep because I went to bed pretty early. I go to bed pretty early, and so I like to rise early too. And I like to engage in naps if I can. I believe in getting up, start my day early. My grandfather played a big part in raising me. He was a business owner. He owned a beer and wine store back in Detroit, East Side. And he used to always get up early, super early, man. 2, 3 o'clock, watch a little bit of his Westerns, get up, make his run to the warehouse club, kind of sort of before like we had a Sam's Club and such. He'd get up, when that would opened up, and I'm getting ahead of myself, rambling a little bit, but I keep early hours. So I got up and had an idea to create some content. I got some content going to be shooting for you guys. I've been playing Spider-Man 2 over the last couple of days, and it's a pretty amazing game. It's not too often that I play games early like this game, but I can notice a couple of little different things that probably will be addressed in some firmware updates, but it's a fantastic game. And it's also created a better relationship for both the G2 and the A95L, as I have the PlayStation connected on both of those. If you haven't seen my prior video, I unboxed the collector's edition and I kind of compared the two just with opening sequences. But I've been enjoying the A95L and the Spider-Man 2 game. But this video, let's get to the point of this. We're going to try to timestamp this thing. So I get up and, I check. I kind of freshen myself up a little bit, and then I spend a little bit of time looking at YouTube before recording this right here. And I look at like my subscription feed, and I follow a lot of people. Typically, what's on YouTube for me is a lot of cop cam videos. I like to watch that type of stuff, and I like to watch the content creating space of TVs from primarily the people that are in the United States. So that handful or two of content creators I like to catch up with what they have going on. So I watched a video from Quantum. This might be the first video on my channel that could possibly be deemed as controversial, and I want to just set the record straight here and say it's not my intentions. But I watched the video from Quantum among some other content creators too, but this one kind of caught my eyes while I'm making this content. He's comparing the S90C currently to the C1. He's got the C1, has had it, and currently got the S90C in his rotation of content. If you see like Quantum's thing is like buy the TV, has it a little bit, make settings, make content of it, and kind of move back on to his staple TV, which is the S95B. I'm not sure if he's got a day one or he got another one later or whatever. I don't know. But that's kind of how he shoots his content. So he's done the comparisons S90B, 90C. Now he's doing C1, 90C. So the context behind this video that he just posted is really an attack on like other content creators. I mean, I can't see it as anything other than that. At least the ones that calibrate and do comparisons and whatnot. And it's just a messy video, man. Just my opinion, and I say that opinion as a person that's subscribed, right? So I like to be clear on the context that I'm a subscriber to FOMO and Classy and KG and Max and everybody that's kind of in this space that does videos with TVs, right? Shout out to my boy Plasma TV Gaming. Shout out to my boy Tech Enthusiasm. Shout out to Coles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm subscribed to all these dudes that do TVs and some that don't do TV stuff all the time also. So I'm watching this video and it's just like, it's messy. And I left a comment, and I think at this point, at some point, something on my channel from another person, a comment they left might have rubbed Quantum the wrong way on my channel. In fact, I know it had to be. Someone said something. And I typically like to thumb up and heart every comment, even if I'm not responding to it. And, he didn't like that. He said something along the lines of I showed my true colors or something, as if he thought I was supposed to, ream the person that left a opinion about him personally on, I think it was a It was a community tab. I digress. Since then, I think that's led me to not have my comments left because I've left some in-depth comments on his videos, like the video that I'm talking about. I don't know if it's seen or whatnot, but you know, the video goes on to kind of compare. It's a great video. It's good context to like the quality of video. So he's showing his soft calibrated, which means like he's gone in, he's dialed settings, right? His C1, and it's showing like the S90C, right? Like C1's here, 90C is there. And so he's just kind of going through a couple of image like stills and such like that. And the C1's looking really good. The S90C is looking good. And the C1 is definitely dialed into his own settings. And so as he's shooting this content, he's speaking in a way where it's like, you know, it's like, don't listen to these other people, the people that like calibrate or do side by side comparisons. I don't know who exactly this is talking about, but I mean, you can kind of put two and two together, which is the part that makes it messy. And it's just like, you know, it's talking about like people having affiliate links, which you got a lot of content creators that do that, right? It's a business, man. Like this stuff is not done for free. People get money, they get paid from ads, they get paid from they get paid from creating the content, from partnering up, and then from joining affiliate you know, businesses. Those algorithms does, you know, lead to some type of small percentage of a commission, right? I don't personally have any of them there, but I don't have any problem with anybody that does, because I'm a businessman outside of this, like in real time. So I understand you gotta capitalize on making as many streams of revenue doing one thing as possible. If I can make one video and I can make money off ads, I can make money off of commissioning people to become a member, which I have a membership too. There's no perks really other than support. If I can make money off the same video, adding a link where if you're gonna buy it from like something that helps me, that's the smart thing to do. You'd be an idiot if you created a following for yourself and did not do that. You would be literally an idiot by definition if you did not do that. So I commend any people, men or women, that get themselves, create a following, and then go on to make some money off of doing this thing. All right. But doing this thing on YouTube isn't easy. Picking up the camera, creating a personality or showcasing your personality, not creating, showcasing your personality. Don't create a personality, just be yourself. But showcasing your personality and talking about these different things, putting yourself on the line to be corrected by other professionals, right? Other colleagues at some point. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of humility and a lot of balls to be able to do this thing. It does. And, you know, doing this for 2 years, gaining 10,000 subscribers, putting myself in the conversation piece of people that have, you know, double onwards to 4-6 times the subscriber base that I do. It's been an honor, and I love it, and hopefully I can continue to do it. But let's just talk a little bit about, because I don't want to get too messy into things, but let's just talk a little bit about the consumer, right? So I've got an arcade cabinet right here that retails, it'll cost you about, depending on the condition, around $3,000 before adding a 4K monitor and Xbox console, right? I've got a TV that cost me $5,000. The A95L is to the right of me. It's off camera, right? And so on the flip side, you go into my kitchen. My toaster oven costs about $20. My refrigerator that's in my kitchen, although it matches the aesthetics of the other appliances in my kitchen, it costs about half of what my refrigerator in my garage costs. So my thing is this, my counters also are not, they're not fancy counters. They're pretty bare bone basic counters. Pretty much cookie cutter stuff. If you bought into a new house and you just got the bare package, that's what I got for countertops. And it's because when I need my countertops to be used, I need them to be used to cut meat, fruits, vegetables, and to serve my children. It's what I need my spouse to be able to do. When I toast my bread or my bagels, I just need a couple of settings to have some time for me to be able to get that content warm for me to eat. When I put content into my refrigerator or my deep freezer, right? I just needed to freeze stuff. I don't care about, all the extra features and functionalities of if I knock or if I get, if I can get the cue ball ice sculpture type of ice. I don't need any of that, right? I have a better refrigerator in the garage, and I don't have it in the house because I'm not willing to spend the extra on the appliances to match it. I digress. The point is, as a consumer, you buy into what's going to be important to you. And so the same is in the TV space, right? I'll go and I'll spend X amount of dollars on multiple TVs because that's what's important to me. If I want the best of what I want to enjoy the most of, that's what I'm going to do. Now, when you're buying into a TV, one thing you have to understand is that TVs don't often, and I say don't often because some do, they don't often come calibrated, factory calibrated out of the box, which means that the panels are not going to often be handpicked to be better, and you're not going to have an engineer that's going to go through and create a series of preset configurations to offer you whatever they might deem as a better picture, which kind of ties back into the content Quantum was making. He was comparing filmmaker mode, which is supposed to be, a staple as to what the content creator of film makes. Most TVs now are going to have some variation of filmmaker mode or a movie or cinema preset, which is typically what you want to turn on if you're watching movie content. So if you're watching like Blu-rays, that content is going to look the best at like the 24 frame playback. It's going to have a more warmer bass instead of a lot of blue that you'd get in like dynamic and standard. Things are going to be adjusted just to make it easy. That's what TVs are. You got presets there, and then you can go in and you can modify settings, okay? Well, Quantum feels as if, his own settings, which are hidden behind a paywall of $5 if you're a member, and he specifies that YouTube gets 30% of that, which is true, but at 80,000 subscribers, if he were to get every person every month to subscribe to him or to be a member, that's a lot of money to him. I have a problem with the delivery of that when you speak about that in the context of other YouTubers having some issue you may have with people that are posting affiliate links. An affiliate link doesn't hurt anybody. There's a couple of rules behind that, and it seems that all the content creators that use them move in some type of space where they're in the right, where they let you know, hey, I can earn a small commission from this. If you happen to be buying this, and if you like the video, a way you can support the video is to click the link and buy it, and it can get me a small commission. It doesn't mean that a person has to necessarily fluff for a TV. It just means that, hey, man, they bought into something, be it they own it or they rent it, and they spent time making content on it, and they took the time to set up their home or their studio to make the content, and they edited the content. It's a lot of work, man, a lot of work. And if you like the content, if you think the video is nice and you think the TV is really nice, instead of you going to whatever big box retailer to buy it or whatever online source, you can buy through that, and that would actually support me. Makes a lot of sense, but it's no different than if you make settings and you say, hey, these are my settings, and if you want these settings, it's only this. Spend this and you can get these settings. I mean, it's the same shit, dude. The same stuff. And I mean, it's just like the entire delivery of that video just rubbed me the wrong way, just because it's like, it's the type of problem that we have just as a society, where you have one person trying to hold another person down because they're not where they need to be. The reality is everybody wants to be able to make money. Everybody wants to be able to afford the experiences that they want. They want to be able to have the most expensive of everything if it was nothing. But like I just told you, I'll spend tens of thousands a year on televisions. It's my prerogative. And I'll spend 20 or 40 bucks on a toaster oven. I'll spend $100 on a blender. I'm not buying a $700 blender or a $1,000 juicer when I can buy one that's 120 bucks and it'll take care of what I needed to do. That's my prerogative, and that's why I don't make content on the kind of stuff that I make content on, or don't make content on, because that type of stuff I'm not passionate about, right? I got into this space making these videos for a couple of different reasons. People that maybe employed by like or working with my spouse might come into my own business and talk to me, right? And so there's a certain level of charisma and respect and integrity that I'm always going to show in these videos. And as I've said before, you know, I have kids. I have kids that have girlfriends. You know, they're all kids to me. And I mean, you know, I don't want to make videos that would paint me to be some kind of malicious person. You know, I really wish things were better. Obviously, the world isn't a perfect place, but when I see that type of stuff, man, it's a little disturbing to me. So just wanted to make some content on that, you know, keep the integrity alive. Everything on this channel, I can tell you 100%. There's no affiliate links yet. I'll tell you yet because I haven't gotten to that space in YouTube where I'm even buying things to rent. I don't buy shit to review, man. The stuff you see here is my stuff. And so that puts me in a different category with other people. That's why you're not going to see like 475 inches TVs or anything like that. I have nothing against anybody that does that type of thing. It's why you're not going to see a video from me having a 77-inch A95L and a 77-inch C1 and a 77-inch G2. Although I have those TVs, S90C, A95L, G2, they're in different spaces. They are in spaces that are designed to entertain and to take care of my household, right? The content is not shown and not bought for me to entertain you specifically. It just works as an added feature that I can make content. And by the way, YouTube does not pay a ton of money, right? I ran into somebody and they seen that I had 10,000 subscribers and they asked me, you know, why would you still be working or, you know, just kind of like having a 9 to 5, if you will. And I'm like, man, look, whatever money that you might think a person's making off YouTube, and I'm not saying that there's not people making a lot of money off of this. I'm sure they are. I'm not to that point yet, right? And even if I was making a lot of money off of YouTube, YouTube has not afforded any of the experiences that you've seen on this channel. My own hustle in life, in real life, has afforded me the experiences that I've been able to share just a piece of for you guys. Things like my clothes, things like my electronics, things like my cars, my home overall. You know, these are the things that put me in a position where I would be willing to spend more money on so that I can have a better life for me and my loved ones. But I just wanted to put this content out there, man. You know, we need to start doing a better job as a collective. You can't shoot one man just to make yourself be better. It doesn't matter if you're charging $5 or if the other person is getting a commission of $50 per TV that's being sold. There's not a hell of a lot of margin in TVs to begin with, to be honest with you guys. And so, you know, when these guys are offering you an opportunity to buy these TVs, you should definitely jump at them. Support the local business, if you will, the small guy, if you will. If you're going to buy the same TV, you can buy through a Tech with KG or a FOMO or a Whisper Status or a Classy or whoever the hell, Quantum. If he was having affiliate links, like, you can buy this shit, man. And if you want to support a person that's making some settings, right, which is totally different than a real calibration. I'll say this in closing: a real calibration is an experience that's not for everybody. It's a very niche thing, right? But the people that it's for them. Trust me. My C1 was professionally calibrated. Loved it. Keep in mind, guys, I just gave the C1 away 2-3 months ago. Okay. But it was calibrated professionally. The person I gave it to sent me photos, said, man, this TV is amazing. And it looked great on all different type of modes, game modes, etc. But when you buy into a calibration, you're paying for the time, you're paying for the equipment, you're paying for the professionalism, you're paying for the experience, you're paying for the pedigree of the person that is calibrating the TV. You would look into and research that, and you would buy into that. Getting a person to give you settings for your TV is not the same. It's not. If you're just looking for something that's going to have some nice pop and punch, you can spend time with your TV and you can figure that out yourself. You can literally do that yourself. You cannot calibrate your TV yourself, though. You don't have the equipment. You don't have the eye. You don't have the experience to be able to professionally calibrate a TV yourself unless you know how to professionally and have the equipment to professionally calibrate a TV yourself. Calibrating a TV, like through actual hardware and software, is different than just going in and modifying settings. They're not the same. So I would think it would be an integrity move if you were making settings on the TV to offer those settings for free. And if a person liked what you had to offer, they would donate to you, or they would become a member to support you, right? But to sell a person's settings and to lock that into, a membership, which is reoccurring unless they cancel, is just as bad, if not worse, than a person doing a review on a TV and offering a link. That's just my take on it. Not to be messy, but I just want to be in act of transparency. I love everybody. I subscribe to everybody, watch everybody, and that's what I got. Leave some comments if you happen to see this. We're gonna get some content made talking about the A95L. We'll wrap this video up and get to work. But catch you guys on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, man, max love.